Today, I'm going to be ranking all 5 sharpshooter guns on Killing Floor 3 from worst to best, looking at guns on the hard difficulty. Without any further ado, let's get right into this. Coming in at number 5, the worst gun of the perk, I placed the Artemis Marksman Assault Rifle, or as I call it, the fart gun. Because it is such a crappy gun, you may as well just be farting on the Zeds with it. What does this gun do wrong? Well, it's an assault rifle that doesn't have a full auto option. You have a 3-round burst or semi-auto. Woohoo! It also has the lowest damage per shot of any sharpshooter weapon, coming in at 120 DPS, less than your backup revolver and the default Fieldmaster rifle, so there's not any real reason to purchase this gun. It also has a slow reload time and just burns through its ammo, holding a 21 round mag and 300 total ammo. Just don't use this thing. It is currently my least favorite gun on all of Killing Floor 3 and rightfully comes in at the bottom of my list. And for anyone wondering, I use the Metro Mercenary skin, Cyst, Zed Ball keychain, and Chimera sticker for cosmetics. Enough said about this piece of junk, onto the next weapon. Blasting its way into my number 4 position, I placed the Sidearm Disciple Revolver, a pretty decent 9-shooter that makes me think of the Loverboy revolver from Ion Fury, and this thing is pretty good for a free secondary weapon, dealing 160 DPS with 117 total ammo, while having a underbarrel shotgun, which only holds 1 round at a time, but fires frozen shells that deal 250 damage per shot and have a chance to freeze Zeds in place for a few seconds, which can be quite handy, in addition to holding a very reasonable 20 total shells. This thing does have a bit of a kick to it recoil-wise, but its quick reload in addition to everything else makes up for it, rightfully earning my number 4 spot. I personally made a custom one that I named Red River, with the pre-order Flatliner skin, Blow Zed Ball keychain, and Red Stag sticker. Time to move on to my next gun.
That looks cramped.
Batting up at 3rd place, I put the Fieldmaster HR-10 Sniper Rifle, your default primary weapon for the Sharpshooter perk. Before attachments and perk enhancements, this thing has a crap ton of recoil and not great iron sights, making longer shots a bit of a challenge, and even with recoil-reducing perks, a sight, and foregrip attachments, it still kicks more than any gun that I've ever handled in real life, but it's good enough to earn my number 3 spot. At base stats, it deals out 230 points of punishment per shot, with a 8-round mag and 154 total ammo, so you will be reloading quite often. But thankfully this thing reloads pretty quick, with the downside of not the world's best ammo reserve, but enough to get by. While I would not go flesh pound hunting with the Fieldmaster, it's not a bad gun for early waves and weaker Zeds, which is why it takes my number 3 slot. I personally made a couple custom rifles. One I named Blue Rifle, a super creative name I know, with the chromatic blue skin, level 2 tier enhanced foregrip, the pre-order Fear the Reaper keychain, and flesh pound sticker, and another which I named Skullcracker, again with the level 2 tier enhanced foregrip, the level 1 reflex sight, boneyard skin, and Fear the Reaper keychain, and I had a lot of fun with putting cosmetics on this rifle. Enough said, on to the next firearm. Freezing its way onto my number 2 spot, I hand this one to the Samaritan Rifle, which is basically a sniper rifle that launches really dangerous ice cubes. I think the main drawback that keeps this firearm from being number 1 spot material is its bloody price of 4,500 dosh. Like, yes, it's a very powerful gun with 570 DPS and can shred through multiple Zeds in a single shot, in addition to being able to freeze bigger Zeds and even bosses for a couple seconds, but it takes forever forever to save up enough dough for it, and I usually can't afford it until the last wave when playing on hard, and even then I sometimes can't afford it until the boss wave, which makes it kinda useless due to how hard it is to acquire. But once you do acquire it, it does pack quite the punch, and shot per shot is one of the most powerful guns in the game. It has a 6-round mag and 90 total ammo, with the downside of being kinda heavy, and it has a slow reload speed, but is overall the second best gun in the Sharpshooter perk in my opinion. I personally made a custom one with the chromatic blue skin, Bloat Z ball keychain, and Nightfall lettermark sticker with the fitting name Mr. Freeze, a reference to the classic Batman villain. Enough said about this weapon, onto my number 1 slot, the ESR 36 sniper rifle. The ESR is quite the weapon, dishing out 350 damage per round and can shoot through multiple weaker Zeds if they're close enough to each other, which can help stretch out its 104 total ammo. This bad boy holds a 8-round clip with meh iron sights, and it does have noticeable recoil before perks and attachments, which is why I invested in recoil reducing perks and made custom rifles. One with the name Head Popper, with incendiary rounds and an enhanced foregrip with the chromatic blue skin, Fear the Reaper keychain, and Flesh Pound sticker. If you can't tell, I like the Flesh Pound sticker and chromatic blue skin. My second custom ESR I named Czerwona jak krew, which translates from Polish to red like blood, and again with incendiary rounds and an enhanced foregrip, but also with a very helpful AOS sight and the Firestarter skin, Fear the Reaper tag, and Chimera sticker for cosmetics. And yeah, that's my ranking of every sharpshooter gun in Killing Floor 3 from worst to best. I hope you enjoyed. Feel free to check out my previous episode where I ranked every commando gun. Link to that vid in the end card, pinned comment, and description. And please let me know your thoughts about my list down in the comments. And I'm thinking to do either medic or firebug for my next Killing Floor 3 ranking guns video. As far as our Bible verse of the day, I read from James chapter 4, verse 10 NIV. Humble yourselves before the Lord, and he will lift you up. And that is all from me for today, yo. As always, none of my content is made by AI. I do not consent to my voice and likeness being modified, copied, and otherwise replicated by AI in any way, form, or shape. Thanks for watching. Always remember that Jesus loves you. Peace.